The Statue of Zeus at Olympia is definitely one of the more mysterious of the seven wonders. It stood for 800 years as an ode to Greek excellence. While not as well known as some of the other wonders, it has a deep and fascinating history. Hello and welcome. I'm the History Connoisseur. Today I'll be looking at the second of the ancient wonders, the Statue of Zeus at Olympia. So let's learn the history behind it. So why was it built? Well, first some backstory about ancient Greece. The Olympic Games were a multinational event. Everyone in the Greek world was expected to participate in the Games. It was a religious event as well as being a time for athletes and city-states to show off their greatest talent. The Games were considered sacred enough that the Olympic truce was introduced. Declaring war 3 months before the Games was heavily frowned upon, so everyone could make it. It seems for the most part this was respected. The Games were held every 4 years in honor of the king of the Greek pantheon, Zeus. It was expected that some kind of offering be made to the gods. Athens, the previous Games, had built a large statue to their patron god Athena, but Olympia wanted to one-up them and build something so great it would be talked about for centuries. The Hellenes went all in with this. Most statues were made from marble or bronze, but instead the Hellenes opted to build Zeus from gold and the finest ivory, surrounding a wooden frame. They hired the most well-known and renowned sculpture. It would take 8 years to be completed. Being made from ivory, it needed to be continuously coated in olive oil to protect it from the marshy ground. Its architect, the Greek Phidias, was considered the best of the best. Prior to this, he had worked with Athens. He had redesigned the Athenian Acropolis and designed the previously mentioned statue of Athena. His workshop was also not far from Olympus, where the statue was built. He was a good friend of Pericles, a prominent Athenian statesman, which is likely how he got the job to build Athena. When designing the statue, he decided to add the name of the winner of that year's wrestling event. There is a story that when the work was completed, Phidias bent on his knees and asked Olympus if they were pleased, to which Zeus struck the ground with lightning without causing damage, a good omen that Olympus was pleased. While the statue was constructed by the Hellenes, and everyone knew that, it was considered the collective property of the Greek world. Everyone from Troy to Syracuse could come on a pilgrimage to the site. There was no fee to get in, nor was anyone exempt. Didn't matter if you were Athenian or Spartan, Egyptian or Sicilian, anyone could come. And it seems many people did. It became a major attraction. Coins from Greece show the statue's likeness. Situated at the foot of Olympus, many would have visited their shrine on the way to visit Olympus. When the Romans conquered Greece in the 2nd century BC, they too were in awe of the statue. Unlike the Greeks, many Romans paid tribute to it. After all, the Roman and Greek pantheons were near identical. Zeus and Jupiter had been synchronized. Not all Romans were being content though. Emperor Caligula demanded that the statue's head be cut off and replaced with his own, although the authenticity of the story is disputed. Not much changed under Roman rule. The statue was still being oiled. Being deep inside Roman territory made it safe from barbarian raids, and many geographers made reference to it throughout the empire's history. With the Christianization of Rome in the 4th century, the statue started to fall into decline. Emperor Theodosius banned pagan practices, which included the Olympic Games, in 391. While he did not order the destruction of the statue, since nobody was there to replace the oil, it would have fallen into disrepair. It is after 391 that the statue seemingly disappears from historical records. The ultimate fate of the statue is disputed, and is ultimately unknown. Unlike the Terracotta Army, or Tutankhamun's tomb, it was not found during excavations, meaning it's almost certainly been destroyed. The first person to claim to know what happened was 11th century historian Georginos Kedros. He claims that the statue was carried off to Constantinople and later destroyed in the Great Fire of 475.
A more plausible theory is that it may have been destroyed by Alaric. Being made of gold and ivory, it would have been a prime target for bandits. Alaric could have either destroyed / heavily damaged the statue. We know he reached as far south as Athens, as you can see in this painting, so it's possibly looted the statue on the way down. Of course, there are problems in this theory, the main one being, why wouldn't anyone record that the statue was destroyed?
And then lastly, there is a theory it was destroyed by Christian zealots, but there is really no evidence to support this. Contrary to popular belief, Christians didn't go around destroying everything pagan. After all, the Pantheon and the Colosseum are still with us today. Zeus, for its part, would have taken some serious effort and manpower to deconstruct. We don't know what happened to the statue, whether it was destroyed in a fire or just gradual degradation with the occasional vandalism. It's still unclear, and we'll probably never know what happened.
The statue is made from gold and ivory, surrounding a wooden frame. The statue was continuously coated in olive oil to protect the ivory from the marshy ground. A large marble rim was made to contain the oil that needed to be continuously changed. Zeus had his two arms outstretched. His right hand had a smaller statue of Nike, the goddess of victory, while in the left he held a saber with an eagle atop.
Unlike the similar Colossus, which was open for everyone to see, the statue of Zeus at Olympia was built inside the Temple of Zeus. The statue occupied roughly half the space of the temple. 2nd century geographer Strabo, who I mentioned in the previous episode, noted that if it were to stand up, it would knock the roof off the temple. Being in a seated position is the reason that Zeus lasted for centuries, while Colossus was destroyed not even 100 years after its construction.
And that's the Statue of Zeus. If you liked that video, please like, comment and subscribe. I'm sorry for the long wait on this one. I had a lot of things going on in my life, a lot of work related things. I didn't really have a lot of time to work on this, but now it's done. Think about doing something different next time, so stick around to see that. I'm the History Connoisseur, and I'll see you next time.